Welcome back, everyone, for another update on construction progress going on around the Disneyland Resort, and we're starting off today on the Pixar Pal around, looking at the potential Marvel Land, and that's the Bugs Life Theater. Tough to be a bug theater. It's our first proper update in a couple weeks. I think it's been a few weeks since we've been on the Ferris wheel, so I'm looking forward to this. Now, I want to stop here actually, because when I was looking at the current state of Marvel Land, I thought, well, it looks even more bare than I remember it. So we're going to go back a couple weeks and look at, this is 2 weeks ago, and it actually, not much has changed at all. You can see the trees are still there that were moved, presumably from the side of the tissue box restroom, which is still sitting there all by its lonesome. But other than that, I mean, it's no more bare than it was before in this area. And we'll continue. And that actually looks kind of sludgy. Even from up here, that looks sludgy. And we'll stop again here to see how things look a couple weeks ago. And again, it looks more sludgy, but they haven't done any more demo. There's nothing left really to demo anyway. So now it's about moving the dirt around and getting ready to start digging the foundation out in the current land. It looks like they are starting to prep. So there's some flat areas there where they're getting ready to drive. What do you call that? Like, that's just a path, I guess, for the vehicles. We saw that at Galaxy's Edge also, where they were creating these ramps. There's no future use for that other than to create a way for vehicles to get in and out of there without having to go through all that muck. Now, again, when I was filming this, I thought, well, that looks different. It looks like they've opened that up more at the Tough to Be a Bug Theater. It looks like maybe they were doing a little more demo there, so I went back a couple weeks. But nope, sure enough, that's where we were a few weeks ago. There's just more rubble a few weeks ago, more dirt that they've cleared that out, which makes the view a little bit more clean. But other than that, I don't see anything new happening at the Tough to Be a Bug Theater. Let's continue further. That's it. Let's move over to Emotional Whirlwind, where there is progress this week. Look at that. Somebody tell me what those red things are. I don't even want to try. Obviously, there is progress here. This is a few weeks ago where they were getting ready. They have all that conduit and stuff down there, for electrical. The base, the centerpiece for the swing is being constructed and put in place. And I had asked the question, what are they going to do with all this stuff? And I thought, well, they're probably all that stuff is going to be underground in a few, in short order. And sure enough, that is where we're at. You can see here that they have covered with dirt all that stuff underground, and all that remains is the top part of the forms, the base for the centerpiece for the attraction, and then those red toppers, whatever those things are. They look like seats, but I know they're not, but anyway. And then there's a look at the queue area, the external queue. Looks about the same as it did before. Here it is a few weeks ago, and they haven't done hardly anything at all for that. Closer look. It's interesting because I've never seen anything like that before. Not at Galaxy's Edge, not anywhere else. And there's another one. That looks like a light, but is it the same thing? Is that the same as what we're seeing down on the ground? Come on. As those things, yeah, the red top things. They kind of remind me a little bit of the setup for doing bullet time from The Matrix, if you've seen the making of that. I don't know why I thought of that, but there you go. Emotional Whirlwind, coming soon. Now you might be asking, why am I filming the Paradise Pier Lagoon? Well, that's because you can see the World of Color stage is now underwater again, which is great news for those folks who are fans of World of Color. By the time you see this, you may have already heard that World of Color is coming back. They've announced it. I think it was February 22nd was the date that I heard. I heard some people say the 23rd. I'm not sure which. I believe it's the 22nd. But World of Color, whatever it is that they were doing, is done. And it's going to debut next weekend. Next weekend. And then here's a shot of Jesse's carousel, Critter carousel. Looks about the same as it did a few weeks ago. Meanwhile, over at Grizzly Peak, its refurb continues. Scaffolding on the lift hill. And if we keep going down Grizzly Trail, you can see there's more scaffolding in the actual river part of it, which is, often during the off season they will drain the river and do a faux refurb, but this looks like they're actually doing something. There's scaffolding throughout that area, and there's even a ladder. And if they put a ladder out there, that means they mean business. They ain't messing around. They're doing some refurb. All right, back at Disneyland, construction walls are still up around those curbs at Town Square and up there on Main Street, where they're going to be redoing the curbs there a little bit to make them more accessible, more friendly, as I understand it. And now they've put this scrim up at Sleeping Beauty Castle. Last week we could see it almost completely. Now they've got the scrim, the brown scrim, and the Herb Ryman looking art on this scrim. It's not quite Herb Ryman, but it looks a lot like it. I kind of like that a little bit. It's all right. Better than nothing. Now, somebody had asked, I heard they were going to put a giant dragon on the back of Sleeping Beauty Castle, and I think they meant for real. Not for real. Well, maybe. Who knows? But no, they have a scrim in the back with Maleficent dragon. Cool, right? Astro Orbiter is still dismantled. I thought they had taken everything and that maybe they were bringing back that globe, that orb there, but that orb has always been there. That's one thing they haven't removed yet. So that does indicate that, the full Astro Orbiter is to return, I believe. On my way over to the Mickey and Friends parking structure, I stopped at the parking lot at Downtown Disney to see if I could find anything new, any updates. This is the forward part of the parking lot, the part closest to Downtown Disney. And no, there doesn't seem to be anything going on there. I could not find any new markings to indicate, what demo might be happening. There, where we're focusing now is the approximate entrance or ramp. And then the markings that I found are on that area that parallels Disney Way there on the right side of the frame. But nothing on this side of that entrance, that parking booth. Nothing on that side. But I did find these markings. I think these might be new, those USA markings. And this is at the very far end of the Downtown Disney half of the parking lot. Way down there in the distance is, you can see the parking lot entrance there. That's, where they are doing markings. But I haven't found anything here except for these. I don't know if the USA, but it terminates there. And then the arrows are pointing in the direction of the bag check at Downtown Disney. You can see those green canopies there. So that looks kind of new to me. Here's a ground level view of the new Cleo parking structure from Magic Way. That looks like one of the escalators that they're installing here at that guest hub, the pedestrian hub. And as we pan right, I thought where there isn't concrete, where there's just the wooden fencing, I thought that might be the access to, that's where they were going to connect this structure, you know, to the bridge. That's where the bridge would connect and cross the street over Magic Way into downtown Disney. So I went back and looked a few weeks ago, and that, well, it may still be, but I thought maybe they had taken it out, but they hadn't. One thing that we can see is that they have put the concrete on that area where there used to be just the wooden form waiting for concrete. So that concrete's been installed. But I don't know. Somebody had suggested that the pedestrian hub was going to be the area of connection between the bridge and downtown Disney. And that still may be the case, although I would have thought it would have been on the upper level or maybe the middle level, but not the bottom one. But who knows? But there you go. See, they've just got the fencing is just on the, or the forming or whatever you want to call it. It's just on the bottom level. And then it would possibly connect across the street over to downtown Disney. And then here's another view of that guest hub. And there's those, that's what we had viewed last week. Those weird, they look like tracks. That's up close on those. That's going to be the topper for the guest hub. Here's another, this is from the opposite side of the Cleo parking structure. This is taken from Mickey and Friends. This is lower level of the nearly completed Cleo parking structure. And then this is a shot I got as I was leaving. I took this because of those look like, I'm not sure what those are. Those, I thought maybe they might be, you know, ticket booths, parking ticket booths, but they look kind of small actually. So I'm not sure what those are, but they're preparing to install them somewhere. And then we'll look at a view of the top of Cleo parking structure from Mickey and Friends. It's nearly done. I mean, externally looking. I don't know how much they have to do inside, but it looks like most of the actual heavy construction is complete, most of it. They just got to finish that concrete up there, it looks like, right? It looks like they're also preparing, what are those cutouts for? I'm curious about that. What are those cut out for? And there's the slip and slides that they're installing. That's last week, or no, a few weeks ago, and that's today. So they're still going with the slip and slide option. I'm surprised, really. That, you know, that's a bold move. It's a really bold move. Well, I guess that does it for this week's update from around the parks. Look out for our Galaxy's Edge video tomorrow. Stay tuned for more. Subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching, guys. Fresh baked. We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Fresh baked!